Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to One on One with A Rich. I am your host, Akeem Richens. If you don't know me by now, ladies and gentlemen, please get to know me. Please get to know us at Built in Buffalo. And today on One on One with A Rich, I got a very special guy, Buffalo Bills wide receiver, Andy Isabella. Andy, how you doing, buddy?
Let's go, man. I love the intro. Bills Mafia, baby.
Yes, sir.
Let's
Oh man,
go.
I love the energy already, Andy. I love the energy already. How you doing, man? How you doing? How's your day going thus far? Where you at? Tell us what's going on right now.
Man, I'm very blessed. I had to get out of the cold of Buffalo, man, for a little bit. And I'm out here in San Diego, enjoying my time, enjoying my off season a little, and preparing my mind to get back to Buffalo so that next time this year, we're going to be in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I love the talk. I love the talk, man. And before I even get started, if you're watching on Facebook, please give this a like, give this a share. If you're watching on Twitter or X, please give this a like, give this a repost. If last but not least, if you're watching on YouTube and haven't subscribed to the Bills and Buffalo channel, what are you waiting for? Please do so, especially today with special guest Buffalo Bills wide receiver Andy Isabella. So let me get started. Right, let's get to know you a little bit. Andy, you're from Ohio, correct?
Yeah, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, went to Mayfield High School, played football there. Um, I'm the oldest of seven. I come from a big
Mm,
family, so I
mm.
mean, we're all big football fans. We grew up in Cleveland, so I mean, we were Browns fans growing up.
Right.
But uh, but hey, man, we all love Bills Mafia. So
Of course, man. Of
and it's
course, man.
close. Same type of people in Cleveland than it is in Buffalo, which is hardworking people. And man, I love Buffalo. It's been awesome being there for just the year I was.
Yeah, man. And Cleveland and Buffalo definitely have some similarities in terms of blue chip, blue collar city, blue collar hardworking folks in that town. So I definitely see the similarities there. You said you went to Mayfield High School in Ohio. What position you played in high school?
So yeah, I was a running back in high school. So I got recruited everywhere
Mm,
as a running back. And my first season when I got recruited at UMass, I played running back. So, but I played a little receiver too, but I was mostly running back. But I think that's kind of uh, helped me out as I go along through my career was having that running back background.
yeah, and that is interesting. That you played running back in high school and in your first year in UMass, right? What prompted you to go to UMass, the Minutemen, in the first place? Was that one of the guys that just wanted you and was like, you know what, I'm gonna go where I'm wanted? How did that unfold?
No, it was a tough journey for me.
Mm,
So my my after my junior year of college, my only scholarship was to the Air Force Academy, and then as my senior year went on, I had a couple small offers, the Division II schools. I knew I wanted to play Division I at the time. If you went to the Air Force Academy, you couldn't play in the NFL. You had to go serve 6 years after. And
wow.
I knew I wanted to play in the NFL. That was like my dream. So I kind of held on to that. And I had a friend that I was helping out, and he was a younger kid. We were running on the indoor track team. So this was after my senior year of football, where
Mm,
I'm just kind of like, dang, I don't know where I'm going to go play.
right.
Um, and I was helping this kid out, and his dad was a coach for another school in Cleveland, and
Mm,
he had connected me with Coach Whipple at UMass at the time, and they had all just got there, and they were kind
mm,
of looking for to sign some guys. And then I ran a fast track time, and 2 days before signing day, UMass offered me, and then I was like, all right, I didn't go visit or anything. I was like, I kind of knew. Sometimes you
wow.
just know in your
Just
heart
know.
where you're
Yes,
supposed to
sir.
go, and I've always been a blessing because I was always able to kind of trust my gut instinct, even when
Mm,
everyone around me was like, "You got to sign somewhere. You got to sign somewhere." I kind of held out because I kind of knew deep down something was going to happen, and
mm.
unfortunately for me, something something did happen, and UMass offered me, and the rest is history after that. I mean, I had my tough times at UMass for sure. Wasn't always
Right.
easy, but it was a blessing to get that offer and to
So
go there.
and that's nice, man, and a heck of a story, might I add. Now, you said you went to UMass. You went to UMass. Mark Whipple was the head coach.
Yeah, Mark Whipple was the head coach all 4 years I was there.
Nice. Who was calling plays over there? Was it Spencer? Was it his son calling plays, the pass game coordinator? Who was calling plays over there at UMass?
No, so Mark Whipple, his dad called the plays, but then
Okay.
it was crazy because then Spencer Whipple took a
Mm,
job in Arizona the year that I got drafted there. So it's like kind of all the connections worked out the way it did, and I was with Spencer for shoot we were on the same team for 7.5 years, I guess 7.5 years,
Wow. Wow.
and I still talk to him here and there. He called plays one of the games for Arizona when I was there during COVID when Cliff had COVID, so he
Gotcha.
called plays. But yeah, they have great offensive minds, and I'm excited for him and what his
Nice.
journey keeps going.
Nice, man. Nice. So, like, you played running back up until your freshman year in college. So, how did that transition come about where you went from running back to wide receiver? Who was the first person to come up to you, or who did you go up to and say, "Hey, this needs to happen"? How did that come about?
So one of my best friends in college, Marquise Young, this dude. So he was a redshirt freshman, so he had already been there for a year. He was a
Mhm.
running back too, and this dude was a beast, man. He was 6 foot, 215 pounds, ran like a 4.4. So when
Wow.
I came in as a freshman, I was like, man, there ain't no way I'm going to play over this guy.
Right.
But like, I know I'm all into working hard. You could do whatever you want, but like, it just
Right.
didn't. When something's not clicking for you and you keep trying it, sometimes you got to switch it up. And like, I had tried really hard all camp and even a little bit into the season trying that running back and just wasn't going the way I thought it was going to go.
Mm,
And scout team, they needed a receiver, and they already had a couple scout team running backs. So I was like, let me just go play scout team receiver. And then I just started killing it, and I was like, man, maybe this is my calling. And then they switched me over a couple games into my freshman year, and then
mm,
I actually, instead of redshirt my freshman year, because I was doing pretty good at scout team receiver, they started throwing me in on some special teams my freshman year,
mm,
and so I did a bunch of special teams my freshman year and did a lot of the dirty work. But I think a lot of guys that are coming up when they ask me like, how'd you do it? I said, you gotta do all that dirty work on special teams. I was doing all the stuff that you
mm-hmm,
didn't want to do. I
mm-hmm,
was freaking lining up on punt return team trying to hold up guys. I was
mm,
on the lead blocker on kick return for one of my friends.
mm.
I was doing all running down on kickoff, making plays, and stuff like that gets you noticed. Stuff like that gets you the opportunity you're looking for. And
Right.
by the time I got to my sophomore year, finally got that opportunity at wide receiver that I was looking for, that I was preparing for, and then it took off from there. So
Nice. Nice. And
that was my transition from running
yeah,
back to receiver.
and it obviously worked out. Shoot, your senior year, 102 receptions, almost 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns, almost 17 yards per catch. So I'd say it worked out great. How was that learning curve for you? Was it a steep one, or did you transition rather quickly, learning from running route, from going to running back, hitting holes, pass protection, to now running routes and being able to separate from defenders? How was that as a learning curve for you?
Oh yeah, it was a big learning curve. I don't think a lot of people realize that. A lot of people see guys and they say, "Oh, it's just athleticism," and they're right. At first, I relied on all my athleticism to get me the yards I needed, to give me the plays I needed. But then as you go along and teams start realizing, all right, we got to guard this guy. That's
Hmm.
when you got to have your route detail. That's when you got to have all the all the little stuff that you work on as a receiver come into
Hmm.
play. So my sophomore year was kind of easy. I had to kind of had a little breakout sophomore year. I had
Right.
800 yards, a couple touchdowns. But then I got to my junior year, and then they're like, all right, now you're going to be that number one receiver. And
Right.
teams kind of knew it coming in. So
Hmm.
my junior year in college, I struggled a lot because I was still relying on my athleticism and just natural
Mm,
skill. And then that's
mm,
when I realized I had an awesome coach my senior year. Spencer was a great receiver coach to me, but I had Bernard Hankerson, who's now the wide receiver
mm.
coach for the 49ers.
Nice.
So
Nice.
shout out to him, man. I'm hoping that gives me a team to root for in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Coach Hank, I hope he gets it done. But Coach Hank played in the NFL for 5 years, and he
Yep.
kind of started teaching me all these little stuff that I needed to know. And
Mm,
as it went on, and I started learning that stuff throughout my junior year. I ended up finishing my junior year off pretty strong, and then it set me up right into having a great senior year and all those blessings to come after that. But it was a lot of hard work. It was not an easy
definitely.
transition, and it's I'm still in the process of learning and growing. If I look at my rookie tape to now, it's night and
Hmm.
day. It's night and day.
Yeah,
So.
we definitely gonna get into that shortly. A Rich, Akeem Richens, Andy Isabella, special guest, one-on-one interview with Andy. So let's talk about, you had the big senior year, in college. Let's talk about the combine. How was that experience for you going through that entire process?
That was all whirlwind. It was a great experience,
Fast,
but
right?
yeah, sometimes I allowed it to get a little bit too big instead of just being in the moment. Because I was coming
Mm,
from UMass, I was at UMass with a lot of hype. So that kind of
mm-hmm,
overwhelmed me a little. Something that I wasn't used to because I
mm,
came from a small school. I didn't get recruited. I didn't have all these accolades like these guys had growing up. Like I was always that underdog, and now I was kind of in the spotlight. So it took a
mm,
little bit of adjusting for me to step into
mm,
that and own that role and that position. Combine was awesome. I had
mm,
ended up running a fast time, and that
mm-hmm.
kind of just
4.31. You could say it. It's okay.
four three one.
4.31 40. Yeah.
You already know 4.31. That's how we bring. That's how that brought me into the draft. That helped me propel me to get that high pick in the draft, and all the blessings with that come from
Yeah,
that. So.
and speaking of that high pick in the draft, right? During that time in your camp in your circle, what was the buzz or speculation on what round you would be selected in before you tested out at the combine compared to where you might have gone now that you've tested and ran that 4.3 140 and 36 and a half vert and 121 broad? Like where was the comparisons? Where did it lie before and after combine? Did you shoot up on the boards?
Oh, I probably definitely did, but you never know. You never really know, you know. Like when I was my junior year, I had a lot of couple. You start having a couple agents trying to sign you, and they tell you like, all right, the NFL scouts they have you projected as kind of like a guy that's going to come try out. That's what they said. They said this
Mm,
guy, Andy Isabella, he's going to come try
mm,
out, probably be in a camp, but maybe make a practice squad. That's what they wrote on me my junior
mm,
year of college.
mm,
So my senior year, I'm like, what's my goal here? I'm like, I just hope I get maybe drafted into the seventh or sixth or seventh round. So that's my goal. Get drafted in the sixth or seventh round. I was like, maybe
right.
that's a long shot, but I just want to try to get signed, get opportunity. But as the season went on, it was like more apparent that something it might be greater than that.
Mm-hmm,
And then it ended
mm-hmm,
up being greater than that. It just was a accumulation of just hard work and just dedication and perseverance and just continue grinding and working to have that great moment as it
mm-hmm.
was. And it was different because I like I said, I was always the underdog. I
Right,
always had to work for what I had. So being
right.
that second round pick, it kind of messed with my self image of who I thought I was. 'Cause, I'm like, man, I'm always trying to grind for it. And I had a
Mm,
hard time accepting it at the time and embracing
mm,
that second round pick mentality. But now that I have, you have to embrace. Like I give a lot, so you have to be ready to accept, get the receive too. So, but yeah, definitely running that 4.31 definitely helped propel me up the boards for sure. But you never
mm-hmm.
know what these guys are thinking. But I was definitely blessed to get
Right,
drafted where I did, and
right.
just blessed that helped for me and my family.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Being the second round pick, 62 overall, and you felt that you spoke about, being selected where you got selected, and maybe to some outsiders when they seen you go 62nd overall, second round, early second round, it probably shocked a lot of evaluators and a lot of people, right? So how did you feel? Did you feel now that I'm an Arizona Cardinal, now that I'm the second round pick, 62 overall? Did you feel any added pressure being selected where you were selected? Do you feel the pressure?
Oh, absolutely. And I think I was young. I didn't surround myself with the right people at the time, and I felt the pressure. I tried to do too much instead of just being me, be myself, do what I did that got me there. And
Mm,
I definitely had struggles in Arizona to start my career, and I had to overcome them, and now I had to kind of fight my way back to to basically make my way back and make a name for myself as I go along and finish off my career in the NFL, God willing, however long that's going to be, and make a big impact in Buffalo, man. Bills Mafia, you know what it is.
definitely, man, definitely Bills Mafia. Um, so let me ask you, right? If so, let's say a coach came to you and said, "You know what, Andy? How can we cater to you? What are your strengths and what do you do best as a football player?" What would you say?
I'll say the best is move me around, give me some space to work with, run me across the field. You see a lot of my big plays in the NFL have come from deep crossing routes or running away from people,
Mm,
and give me those little opportunities where in the slot where I can work a defender one on one. We got to see that a little in preseason when I was playing the Colts and a couple other the Steelers. We had a nice little little
Yep.
route on the inside that went for 20 yards.
Yep.
Just find little ways to get the ball in space and let me work. But obviously, it's all given, it's all earned, and whatever
Mm-hmm.
the role is, like my role this year was preparing the guys, all the defensive guys, each and every day. Like I took pride being on the
Mm-hmm.
scout team and working those guys so that on Sunday, my defenders, Tyron Johnson, those guys, they were
Mm-hmm.
all ready to go on Sunday. I love watching them play. And when my time came in the playoffs a little, you
Mm-hmm.
do whatever I can on special teams. My role was, hey, not really playing offense, but it takes everybody. That's what I think a lot of
Yes.
people miss out. It takes everybody to win. It takes everyone in the organization, from practice squad players, from starters to backups, to the
Mm-hmm.
coaches, to staff. It takes every single person. So it's where can I create value? Where can I help my teammates? Where can I help everyone in the building? That's what I've
Right.
learned as I grow
Mm.
older. It's not
Nice.
really about me. When you're younger, you think like, what is in it for me? What
Mm.
am I gonna get? How can I get the ball? How can the coaches use me? It's a lot of me. But as you
Right.
get older, you kind of realize the only way you're gonna win is with all the guys around you and
Mm.
everybody helping each other, and
Mm-hmm.
that's everybody in the building. So that's what I take pride in. I'm not really worried about how they could use me or what I could get.
Mm.
I'm more looking for what can I give to the organization, and the more I
Nice.
give, I feel like the more personal success I have. Even though I'm not really looking for it, I'm looking for I could help everybody else.
Hey, that's nice, man. Beautifully said, Andy. Andy, Isabella, A. Rich, Akeem Richards, one-on-one interview with Andy. Um, so you played for the Arizona Cardinals, right? You left there, you got released, you signed a stint with the Baltimore Ravens before ultimately coming to the Buffalo Bills. So you've been through the process of finding a team and trying to find a home while nothing is guaranteed. So my question is, um, give me an inside perspective of where you're at or where a football player is at mentally when they're going through that process. How do you keep yourself motivated and how do you keep yourself positive and say, I do and I can belong in this league. I can play in this league while you're going through that process.
You got to really know who you are and what you're about. And I've had the blessings to work with a lot of our team psychiatrists and stuff, and working with those people in terms of making sure your mindset's always right. Because sometimes the greatest asset we have is our confidence and how confident
Mm-hmm.
we are when we step on the field. And if you aren't confident, then everything starts going downhill. And a lot of things, you can lose that confidence. Like you get cut. It's easy when you get cut and you're fired to be like, well, man, I must not be good enough. I must not be worthy enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I do little things, my mindset wise, whether it's if there's a day that I'm not really feeling it, I go watch back at my highlights and be like, oh man, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've done this in the league already. I
Nice.
scored an 88-yard touchdown. I scored 2 touchdowns in one game. I've
Mm-hmm.
done it before. That means I could do it again.
Yes.
So it's not a matter of whether this coach likes me or I'm not getting the reps I want or not. It's like I already do it. This is what I love doing. How can I go help and how can I make the most impact every day? So that's how when I'm struggling with that mindset, I look back at some of my successes and being like, all right,
Mm.
yeah, I could play, I could do it. So whenever I'm feeling a little down and a little that, I remind myself what I'm capable of and what I could continue to do.
Amen. Amen. Wonderfully said. Wonderfully said. If now, when you're going through that process and you have the Buffalo Bills there, was it just, hey, they offered me, I'm gonna go sign with them, or did you have multiple offers? And if you did have multiple offers before signing with the Buffalo Bills, why did you choose Buffalo?
I always follow my heart. I feel like you could always know when you really take a second to really listen. You could really hear what your heart's telling you. So when I got let go, I had a good camp in Baltimore. I had a good summer training camp where I worked myself up to where I was getting some reps with the starters. So
Mm,
I came in like, all right, well, it was a long shot to make it because they had Odell, they drafted a rookie, they signed
mm,
Nelson Aguilar. So it was like, I was looking from the outside. So I was
mm,
like, but I had a good summer. And receiver coach, even texted me, was like, "Man, I respect you how you play. I
mm,
respect everything you're doing."
mm,
He's like, "I didn't really give you a shot to start the summer, but you worked your way up." And he's like, "I don't know what's gonna happen, but something good is gonna happen for you." And
mm,
I kind of held on to that, like, yeah, it was kind of hard seeing him sign all these guys, not getting the reps I think I deserve. I'm like, all right,
Isn't
yeah,
that isn't that
we're
similar
on.
to like what? Isn't that similar? Sorry to cut you off. To like what happened with Arizona? Like you got there was Larry Fitzgerald your
Yeah,
rookie year. Then you had AJ Green, and then you Christian Kirk was there, and DeAndre Hopkins and Keyshawn Johnson. Like, did you feel that you lacked opportunities there in Arizona as well, just like kind of like Baltimore?
yeah, definitely. But you know, when I see that now, I was like, maybe I wasn't ready for those, and now I feel like really ready.
Mm,
But like I said, in Baltimore, you just gotta keep working. You never know what's gonna happen. So that he gave me that text, and I was like, well, it looks like things are trending in the right direction. Even though I was starting to get a little down and stuff, I still
mm,
had my mind was like, I'm gonna fight and give myself a chance. But then I get to the first day of camp, and then they ended up because they said we're trying to sign some other guys. We don't really see you making the team, so we're just gonna cut you. So
mm.
they cut me out. So imagine going in that camp on the first day. They're
Right,
like, yeah,
right.
you're done,
We're
cut.
done. Yeah,
So I'm like, damn. So
yeah.
I was like a little down. I was like doubting
Of
myself,
course,
like, man,
of course.
like this is probably it. Like,
Mm,
should I even keep going? Like I just laid it all on the line all summer, went all
mm,
out, like gave it everything I had,
mm,
grinding, like score. I was doing good too. Like I thought I was scoring touchdowns. There was some mistakes for sure, but I
mm,
was performing. I worked my way up with the starters. I had earned respect. So
mm.
and then everything got cut. It was done over. It was
Right.
like, damn, it must not. Am I really? Should I keep going? You know, I was like, should
Mm-hmm.
I keep going?
Mm-hmm.
And my agent calls me a day later, and he's like, well, you got some places to go. You got Buffalo wants to try you out. The Colts want to try you out. I
Mm,
think Jacksonville wanted to try you out, and then I think Carolina wanted to try me out.
mm,
And I'm just like, all right, who were? And I'm like, let me think for a sec where I want to go. And
mm.
then I just like kind of sit for a sec, and I'm just like, it's got to be Bills Mafia. Like, come on, it's got to be Bills Mafia. Like
Love it.
that's my type of people up there. Like
Love it.
hardworking people are grinding. Like that's all I do is hard work and grind and
Yes,
outwork
sir.
people and find a way to win no matter what. So I was like, I'm going to Buffalo no matter what. And then so they it wasn't guaranteed. I had to go up there and try out.
Right.
So we go up there, try out,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going against another guy that was actually a first round pick. I want to name him. He was a first round pick a
Right.
while ago, and going against him, and I see him get there. I'm like, damn, like it's not gonna be easy to beat him out. But
Right.
you know, well, I just went about my business. Had high energy.
Mm-hmm.
I had confidence. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
watched my highlight tape before the
Mm-hmm.
tryout, being like, yeah, I know what I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Dominated the tryout. I won that job easy. They signed me in the camp, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even easy there. I'm coming in now 6 days late
Right.
from camp, and I'm the 15th man on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the playbook for nothing.
Right.
So then it's like, all right, now you gotta settle down. You gotta like, all right, this is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
15th guy on the roster. Don't
Mm-hmm.
know the playbook.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta take it day by day,
Right.
second by second. So I had one bag with me I brought, and I
Right.
gave it everything I had during the camp. You know,
Mm.
I stayed up late every night studying that playbook diligently. I don't
Right.
think I ever learned to playbook that fast, but I was learning it, walking through the plays on my own, and slowly I would get little opportunities. And every time
Mm.
I did, I was ready for them because I had that confidence from knowing what I could do, knowing who I am,
Mm.
watching my plays. So
Mm.
when I got the opportunities, I was dominating. And we got to the first game versus the
Mm.
Colts, and boom, make a big play down the
Mm.
sidelines, and
Mm-hmm.
then boom, all the hype's on me. All
Right.
the hype's like, all right, this guy, he could play.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get him in, and I got more reps in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, the last week of camp, I'm getting reps with Josh in the first
Yeah.
team. And
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
shit can
Yeah.
change fast. I just
Right.
got cut 4 weeks ago, and now I'm getting
You catching
first week
footballs
reps
from Josh. Mm-hmm.
catching footballs from Josh. So it's just crazy. So I'm like, all right, this is you could do anything. You just have confidence and stay calm. That's what I'm thinking. Like, all right. And the last preseason
So.
game, it just didn't go my way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was just I was playing smooth, but you know sometimes the ball just doesn't find you.
Right.
Maybe my energy was off. I don't know,
Right.
but it just didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be, I guess. And
Mm.
then Buffalo ends up letting me go.
Go
So I'm like,
before signing you
oh,
back. Mm-hmm.
let me go. I had a couple other offers to go other places,
Right.
and I actually took a pay cut to stay in Buffalo. But I'm like, hey,
Mm.
man, Bills Mafia.
Hey
Fucking love these
man.
guys. Even if you call me, I love these guys.
Yeah,
Love
yo,
these
man.
fans. Love the people. I'm like, I'm staying here. I'll take a pay cut and stay here and see how it goes. And man, I
Nice.
loved every second of Buffalo, man. It was an awesome time. I didn't get to play that much, but I set myself up for this year to really give
Yep.
myself a better opportunity to play and be more of a part of the team. even though this year I still feel like I was such a big part of it from the outside. People
So
might not have seen it, but I was really working in that building and really helping out anywhere I could.
who was that one guy in Buffalo, player or coach, to make you kind of feel at home or a part of the Buffalo Bills? Was there a particular player or coach you kind of could lean on or talk to more than maybe others?
Oh yeah, we had a great Bible study group.
Oh,
The chaplain Len, he was awesome, and he held
mm,
that every week, and that was
mm,
kind of a great thing for me. And Trent Sherfield was in there, and he was a
nice,
old friend of mine from Arizona, and
nice.
we had a great group of guys that came together and really bonded and really put our hope and trust in God and whatever His plan was, and that had me at peace no matter what. If I played or not, I was at peace knowing that all my hard work wasn't in vain, that all my hard work was leading up to helping the success of the team, and me dominating in practice and going hard and getting these guys ready, and bringing that energy every day was going to help these guys play better on Sunday. And
Yep.
then, in fact, having them play good on Sunday is what gave me purpose to keep fighting. Because I fought, man.
Mm.
I was
You
in there
got
every
to.
day
Hey,
grinding
you got
and
to.
trying to
Scout
help
team is
these guys.
important. The scout team is definitely important, man. You
Yep.
definitely have to. You want to give your first teams the best look, so they are capable and ready to take on that opponent each and every week. So having a good scout team, having willing scout players like yourself, take heed to that process and understanding. I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna do my job for the team. But while I do my job, I'm gonna get looks to advance in my job. So as long as you keep that focus, which you looks like you do a great job doing through mental preparation or through talking to the necessary people you talking to is an unbelievable thing. I want to ask you: you have been on a team throughout the year, and you've been through the ups and downs of the football team in terms of what they was able to go through within the struggles and what they bounced back from. And the Buffalo Bills, they had a coaching change at the offensive coordinator position, going from Ken Dorsey to Joe Brady. Now, as a Bills receiver, I know you didn't play a lot, but you still in the building. You still helped out tremendously, right? As a Bills receiver, when you did get the opportunity, did you see any differences in schematics or verbiage between Ken Dorsey and Joe Brady, or was it basically the same playbook, just different play caller?
No, it's the same playbook, just a different play caller.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think so. Unfortunately, the guy at the lead, whoever's leading it, usually gets blamed. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I mean, in this business, that's how it goes. The top guy takes
Yes,
the
sir.
blame. That's the burden they lay. I just think it was this maybe like a timing thing. Like, see, we were up and down, up and down. I don't think it was any one man's fault. He
Mm.
was just had, he was just
The
the
guy.
guy running the show, and the guy running the show, unfortunately, sometimes is at the heat of all the blame, and I think that's what happened.
Yes,
But
sir.
we just had to be resilient, and I think we were resilient. We took it as a challenge, like, hey, you let go of our guy,
Mm-hmm.
so we gotta show that was probably a mistake. Like, and I think
Mm-hmm.
all of us rallied around uh, Joe Brady and
Mm-hmm.
picked it up and and got it out back on the right track and finished the season off strong. Not how we wanted it to. We obviously wanted to be playing next week, but we
Mm-hmm.
finished it off in the right way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Couple more questions. A Rich, Akeem Richards, Andy, Isabella's in the building. Appreciate Andy for taking the time out for joining me today to join in Built in Buffalo. I first of all appreciate it tremendously. I'm pretty sure everybody watching is going to appreciate it as well. Um, how is it catching footballs and playing with Josh Allen? How is his mentality? Is he a mild mannered guy? Is he a fired up guy? What type of energy do you feel and do you feed off of from Josh Allen?
Yeah, great energy. Everybody in Buffalo's got great energy. I think that's what you got to have if you're in Buffalo. You got to have great energy. I think
Mhm.
we all feed off each other and play with each other, and we all love the game. And I think just the energy everyone brings is what makes it so fun.
Mm.
And even the fans, the energy they bring, we all just
Right,
feed off each other, and
right.
it all comes together.
Nice, man. Nice. So, just to wrap this up, give me just sum up your overall first year with the Buffalo Bills this year and what you hope to accomplish in year two with the Buffalo Bills.
Um, 3 words First word, resilience. And I
Mm,
think everyone in Buffalo is resilient. Like we were all resilient. We had to fight through adversity, and
mm,
especially personally, I had to fight through a lot of adversity myself. Energy, I think, great energy all year. I think we kept the energy high. Winning or losing, we stayed level-headed. We always kept the same energy. Just because we had a loss, just because we had a setback, it didn't
mm,
change who we were. It didn't change our energy. We always
mm.
showed up with that great energy. We always came prepared to practice, prepared to play. And then lastly, one more word. So it's gonna be a tough one.
Mm,
I guess maybe just discipline. Like the more disciplined we were, the better
mm.
success we had. The more
Nice.
discipline I had in my partaking of everything, the more success I had. And I think everyone's just disciplined. We're hardworking, great energy, and I think next year, man, I hope next year we're in the Super Bowl. I see it. That's what I
Mm,
want. I want
mm.
the Super Bowl. I want the ring. Pray for it when I was little. I said I
Yes.
want to win a Super Bowl, and now everything's coming to fruition. I mean, we got the team to do it, I
Mm,
think, and I
mm.
I'll be a blessing is to be a part of it for another year. It's gonna be a blessing, and hopefully make that run to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. I definitely have to agree with you. That is something all Bills Mafia on the team, players, coaches, fans. That's something that we all want to see, witness Bills Mafia, the Buffalo Bills, hoist the Lombardi Trophy sooner rather than later. Next year, I would love to see Andy Isabella run around holding up the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, you
You know what
already
I'm
know.
saying? Go in
You
Bills
already know. I'll be
Mafia.
going crazy. I'll be going crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. A Rich, Akeem Richards, Andy Isabella. Man, this has been a great interview, man. I once again, I really appreciate you for being humble and forthcoming. I hit you up, you responded back, and I'm like, oh shoot, Andy just hit me back. I had a couple groups, guys, a group chat, and they was bugging out. So it was definitely a honor and a pleasure and an excited moment. Talking to you and we got to keep in touch, man. We definitely got to do this again. Once you hoist that Lombardi Trophy, we got to come back and run this again, man. Andy, I appreciate you. Anything you want to say before we get out of
Amen, brother. Let's go. Bills Mafia for life, baby. Let's
here?
go.
Yes, sir. Bills Mafia for life, man. Appreciate Andy once again. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. One-on-one with A Rich, special guest Andy Isabella, wide receiver, Buffalo Bills. If you don't know us by now, please get to know us. Amazing show. Until next time, Bills Mafia, we out. Let's go. Go Bills.